This podcast is brought to you by WealthWave, the How Money Works company, improving the financial literacy of our communities so families can dream again. To learn more, visit wealthwave.com/Austin Hogan.
Hello, and thank you again for joining us on our Embracing Adversity podcast. I am Amy Torres, founder and executive director of Paul's Place Support for Families, where we're bringing you different stories of adversity where we can help to inspire you to get through your own adversity or someone you may know. Today, I am speaking with Palermo Galindo. He is very well known in the Fort Wayne community, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, that's where we met. Right now, you just started a new position with Indiana Tech. You're the program director for LAMPRO.
Yes.
And you're also chairman for the Indiana Commission for Hispanic and Latino Affairs. Is
Exactly.
All right,
Correct.
good,
You
I
got
it. Good. So we're also kicking off Hispanic Heritage Month, so it's a great time for us to chat today and to talk about different things that you and I, more specifically, you have gone through. Some adverse times growing up and into today's community. So let's just start real quick then. Tell us where you were born and raised and how you came to Fort Wayne.
Sure. Well, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to be here in your podcast. Hopefully, some of the words that we exchange here will inspire others. I'm looking forward to this exchange. I was born and raised in Mexico. So I was born in Mexico City, but at age of 4 or 5, I live. My mom left to go to her home state of Morelos.
Okay.
So it's 2 hours south of Mexico City. Okay. So it wasn't that far. But so I grew up there. So when people ask me where you're from, I usually say Morelos because that's right. Where I went through kindergarten, middle school, high school, and so forth.
Okay.
Yes, and then at the age of 15, my dad brought me to San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
And I started just going to high school, 9th grade, and not knowing any English, not knowing anything about the culture, everything. So it was a brand new everything for me.
Sure. Well, I think it may have been a little bit of easier transition going in San Antonio as opposed to starting way up north here, so in Indiana. But
yes, well, again, you have to learn about the language and. With young people, we were all speaking English. There were some people that were speaking Spanish, so and I had to really adapt to the different circles. So within the high school that I was at.
Okay, all right. All right, so from there, you're 15 and in high school in San Antonio. Where did you go from there? Did you come straight to Fort Wayne or Chicago, any other city, or where?
Yes, from after graduating from high school at age 18, I stayed there for maybe one more year. I went to community college, San Antonio College, and I always liked graphic arts. My brother was doing graphic arts, and so I was inspired to kind of follow him. And I took some classes there, and then this was late '80s, so there was a big job loss throughout the whole state. So my dad got let go, my brother got let go. So we decided to go to Chicago, where he had friends there that invited him to go. So we went to Chicago. That was a big change again from coming from Texas to Chicago. Again, that's something new to learn and adapt about. From San Antonio is a sizable city, but going to Chicago is an even bigger city. Yes. So so I had to learn a lot, taking the transit and just move around and figure out things by myself.
Okay, all right, good. Definitely a huge learning curve, I'm sure. Big city like that.
Yes, it was a very big city. Yes.
So then, from Chicago, where did you go on from there?
From Chicago, lived there for another 5 years, and then came to Fort Wayne.
Okay.
And have the family that got transferred from General Motors to in Chicago to here, and always talked about Fort Wayne, how quiet it was, and affordable, and just a very nice place. So I came a few times and enjoyed the city, and of course there was a big change from Chicago to here. So I decided to make Fort Wayne my city. The people left, they went back to Chicago, and I decided to stay. I enrolled at IPFW back then, Purdue Fort Wayne now, and continuing my studies with graphic arts.
Oh, nice. Good. So, and I know you had a show that you had, like your pictures, some of your different graphic, or not graphic designs, but some of your artwork was posted a couple years ago, wasn't that? Indiana Museum of Art?
Yeah.
Okay.
So throughout my life as a student, and then I did some professional work as photographer. I always try to participate in exhibits to showcase some of my artwork, and I always wanted to showcase my side of, as a Latino or Hispanic person of Mexican descent, some of the highlights of what I grew up. So one of my shows when I graduated from college was photography, and most of my photographs were from back home.
Okay.
Black and white infrared, which was an incredible medium to work with, and it's just a lot of people really enjoyed those, and that gave me more security to continue to focus on photographing people. So over the time, I had the exhibit at ArtLink, and then Indiana Tech. Actually, I did not know the curator for Indiana Tech asked me to get some photographs, put them together, and we had an exhibit at Indiana Tech. It was fantastic, and I was very grateful for that opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
have that featured in school. That's great.
Yes.
Well, great. So, what sort of I mean, I know what sort of adversity you have gone through. I'm sure going through different things, through coming in from a different country and then traveling to larger, bigger cities. What kind of adversity do you want to share with us then?
Well, I think adversity is of how to adjust to change. I think that's a lot of people don't like change, and as I live now here for over 25 years in Fort Wayne, there's resistance to change, and that's everywhere. But cities, towns, and people that continue to change and adapt continue to grow and are becoming more of a hub of where people really want to come and see what's going on in Fort Wayne.
Sure.
Why is it changing? So I think I've been a person to be able to adapt and see what are the changes and how do you fit into those changes.
Okay.
For myself, I had to continue to network with people. When I made the decision to make Fort Wayne my city, I was very serious about it because I saw the tremendous opportunities to make change and positive contributions to the city. Sure. And I started from not knowing anyone to now 20 some years later representing the city at local, regional, and international level. So it's been a fantastic journey, and I will just tell people that yes, change is not good, not comfortable.
Right, not comfortable at all.
But I believe that there's ways that you can utilize your skills to make contributions to it. So I will say, the way I did it, for instance, I'm very observant of things, and I might not speak a lot at meetings or other places, but I'm always learning and figuring out things, internally, and by doing that, I am able to understand the way things go, especially at city level, politics or in education and so forth. So community engagement it's a big word, but a lot of people don't know, okay, so what does that mean?
Right. Right.
So it's actually getting out of your comfort zone and actually talking to people, and sometimes it's very difficult.
Very tiring sometimes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I understand that. And so all that, as I am an introvert, so it's hard for me to do this, but I now see it after all this time that I have skills that I could provide and share, just things like this, for instance, that where we are talking about something that is important for some people, and hopefully they will make a change in their lives. So being adaptable, observant, and then when you have the resources or you have that information where you can make a sound decision, then you can do that. You know, either going to a business, starting something, a program, you know, just like you. So congratulations for Paul Place. I know there's a lot of things you're done, and I want to congratulate you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely definitely a huge learning curve when you're going through changes. You know, I'm also an introvert, really, but I do like meeting and networking with other people. I like to learn things, and that's where I learn the most, is just by observing people as well, seeing how, you know, like I said, in politics or in government services or community engagement, just seeing how people relate to each other, how the dynamics are, where one person is going to act one way, not necessarily a bad or good way, but there's a different demeanor with one person, but then when they're in with another group of people, it's almost a little bit different demeanor too. So, you know, I pick up on a lot of those things, and I'm learning a lot from watching people too. So I definitely understand that. And I don't know if it's just me as the middle child growing up, I've noticed those dynamics too, and just really applying it to life, you know, where, you know, you see everything that's happening, and I can kind of take a step back and not necessarily be talkative or anything, but just be very observant. I'm like, okay, now I know my way to go, my strategy. This is going to be my strategy coming forward. So, and I think that has been definitely instrumental in helping Paul's Place and get out there within the community, and even more, you know, with what we've got launching now soon. So, but yeah, it's definitely tiring sometimes working with a lot of people.
Right.
You know, introverts, we need to go back and recharge and go back out again. So.
Yes, and that's a skill that actually over time has been developed, and the way I utilize it now. Before I used to get tired. Now I utilize the energy from the room when I'm speaking, and turning that around and projecting, and then getting it back. So it's not tiring anymore. Actually, I'm accelerating after a meeting, and I'm like ready to go, and it's like, all right, let's go for it. So it's a big switch that I have done from when I first started to now, where that usage of the energy around the room, it's really empowering, and it takes time and skill, but you know, it's a good way to really relate to people. And then you find that when there's that communication, two-way communication, then you're more assertive, and then you're more able to provide the resources or the answers for people. Sometimes, you know, I tell people, it's like, I might not have all the answers, or I have the answer that you might not like it, but here are your options, and you know, given those. And I'm very truthful, because I don't like to promise something I cannot deliver. And I think that's what people have seen me do throughout the years, and that's why the repetition I have within the community, that I do what I can, and then if there's more that I can do, well, I'll provide that, but I never overpromise things. So you know, it's I feel very honored to be asked to be in different committees and communities and organizations where you know, there's the little contribution that you think you do does a larger impact in the communities and throughout the state. Yes,
it does. I've definitely seen that with some of my board members. They're like, oh, I don't think I'm helping as much. I'm like, no, whatever you're doing, it's helping tremendously. So, I mean, you may not be full-time like I am doing it, but you're definitely helping, you know, what you're contributing to. And I need all the help I can get too. So.
Right. Yes.
So, yes, everyone always needs good help. So that's great. That's awesome. So yeah, you were actually how long did you spend as a city liaison then with Fort Wayne? That was quite a time, wasn't it?
Yes, I spent about 12 years and 2 months, yes.
Okay. Yes. So, and that was just a recent change then you did too, so.
Correct.
Yeah, so now we're working with Indiana Tech. So tell us about that program then.
Yes, Indiana Tech has a program that is a Master's in Business Administration in Spanish, and they are collaborating with the company in Chile, South America, and that company provides the marketing, the advertising, the recruiting, and then setting out that the students for us. Once we get those students, we go through the admission process, and also for professors, they're going to be teaching their classes because this program is totally in Spanish. Once they complete the program, they get a diploma from Indiana Tech with a Master in Business Administration, and there's some certifications as well. Yes, and it's a new program, and it's getting a great success throughout the Latin America. We have students from Mexico, Peru, Ecuador. Yes, just about everywhere, and we're looking into growing this market, and that was the reason I was hired, because I'm bilingual. I'm able to communicate with people in Chile. We meet through our media software, and then one-on-one and answer emails for students. And I have a great person that is working with me, Catherine, who is also bilingual, and she's just doing a lot of things, and I'm grateful because I'm learning. So she's actually helping me to understand all the process, and it's every day is something different, and that's what I enjoy. Going to a university setting, just the same what I did as a community liaison, just finding different things that the citizens need, and provide those. So it's just a different setting, but helping, and that's part of what I do, and I feel that fulfills me, trying to help people throughout the city or throughout the continent.
That's great. And hoping that, is there an opportunity then for when those students graduate with the masters? Is the hope for them to work here within the States, or have that opportunity to do a job share or something, here or wherever, I guess?
Most of the time they do get their masters, and they might come for the ceremony, and then they go back to their countries, basically, because they're already established families, and they have good job opportunities there. So they want to enhance their careers by having an American diploma from a respectable university that has been in over 90 years in Fort Wayne. So it's a great opportunity for them, and I believe that this program will continue to grow as time goes by. So it's within a year. We'll definitely.
We'll see how it goes.
So it's going to be great.
That's awesome. That sounds great. So is there a story or a situation, either wherever you worked at, whether it was in college or working with the city department, or probably not enough experience there with Indiana Tech, but the different organizations you've been involved with, where just something stood out, like it could be a game changer one way or another, either good or bad, where, let's calm everything down, let's take a step back and kind of relook at everything and kind of observe, and this is the path that I'm going to take. It's going to be a more positive path. Is there a story that you want to share with us about that, or?
Yes, definitely. There's many stories, and I think that's something that stands out for me. It's being able to participate in the census. So I started in 2009 with the city, and the census was coming up in 2010. So I work with my colleagues with the city, and then also the organizations that were established before I went in to collaborate with the census. So in 2010, we did a pretty good job counting our communities that are historically undercounted, because again, there's mistrust on the census, the questionnaires, and all that, right? That really gave me a understanding how we need to educate our communities, and I took the stand and said, well, hopefully if I stick around, 2020 is coming up, 10 years from now, and I will do my best to get this happening. So time went by. 2019 came, and then the preparations for the census started. And I was really happy to collaborate with so many different communities. So we have Burmese communities, Congolese, Hispanic communities, Koreans, Vietnamese, and so we had a good network of people, and those have been established since when I started all the way to 10 years later. The overall response for the census was great, even though we have the pandemic that really hampered the efforts of going out to the houses and knock. We learned how to utilize video, and actually I went out and I asked people in our communities to share a minute or two about the importance of the census in their own language.
Oh, nice.
And then we had those videos on different social media that we had. We had a website for our Fort Wayne Counts. That's what our motto was, Fort Wayne Counts. And I tell you, the response was great. Even though we had the pandemic, we, as the historically undercounted communities, were really counted this time, and we had a good understanding how we can reach out. And so I had, again, people from different communities talk about it, and that made the sense of how, just by filling out the census, how much money our city receives to provide services for the students, for hospitals, for fire department, for non-for-profits as well, and housing, and there's so many things that the census provides. And by educating the people, we were able to get more people to join and say, "Oh, I want to do a video."
Sure.
You know?
Okay. Oh, that's fun.
And it was very fun. So
good.
I will go with my phone and then just
Right.
record, and it was fun. So there we have it in social media, and just go Fort Wayne Counts, and you can just check all those videos in French, Arabic, Spanish, and other languages.
Sure. Oh, good, good.
Burmese.
Yes, we definitely have a very large Burmese population here. So, well, that's good. You definitely helped increase the dollars that Fort Wayne gets through help educating the different the diverse communities we have here, and just kind of easing their attention of why we need this information. So that's really great, and I'm sure the videos helped for sure.
Definitely.
Where it's someone within their community saying it's important. So,
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Well, the impact that we get is 10 years. Once we receive the money, it's for 10 years. So definitely, it's a big impact, and that's what I'm very proud of. That have participated in that and collaborated with so many wonderful people in our community.
Oh, good. Yeah, we definitely have a very wonderful pool of people here in Fort Wayne. Definitely very diverse, very philanthropic, and very heartfelt people here who want to help make things easier and better for our community, which is always great. So,
It is.
yeah.
It is fantastic.
Oh, good. So tell us about the work that you do then with the Hispanic Coalition then.
Yes, so I'm the chairman for the Indiana Commission on Hispanic Latino Affairs.
Okay.
So we are a nonpartisan organization that serves all the Latinos in the state of Indiana. So we have now a director that really provides that outreach, and as a board members, we have senators, we have state representatives, and then appointees. I was appointed by Senator Long a few years back, and now reappointed by another senator that made our work together better. And it's a good group of people. Talking about Fort Wayne, now we talk about the whole state. So we have people representing from Northwest Indiana to Southeast Indiana and so forth. There's information that we can provide for different non-for-profits or organizations that want to collaborate with the Indiana Commission on Latino Affairs. And just go to our website. So it's ICHLA, so it's ICHLA.gov
Okay.
And then you can just check in. Is that in .gov? So it's the Indiana Commission on Hispanic and Latino Affairs, and we provide support throughout the state to different agencies, and we want to educate and also learn about what are the needs as well. So in 2019, we did listening sessions in 3 different areas through the state. So it was northeast. In Indianapolis would be the middle region, and then southeast on Evansville. And so we asked people in all these communities to provide what are the essentials that they need, and what are the things that they want to see for our commission to provide. So we tabulated all the answers. The former director did that and provided a report. And this report is given to the legislature and also to the governor's office.
Okay.
So it's a very fulfilling job, or not job, well, it's kind of job.
Yeah,
but
it's still kind of a job.
yes, volunteer, opportunity to do this, and really. You get a scope of some of the needs. Some of the needs, again, they're about the same, but there's in each region or community, it's a little bit of different as well. So what they're living through, and so I encourage people that are listening to go and look for that report, and if not, I could give you my information, and then I could provide that for them. So it's important for people to know what's going on in Evansville and Indianapolis and Goshen or other areas throughout our state.
Well, good. Well, thank you. But definitely very important work as well. So it just helps people, with the information you're getting passed on to legislation, definitely helps increase the opportunities for different for our Hispanic community here in the Indiana. So, it helps people get through adversity too. Definitely it just, if more things are put in place for the community, then when things like the pandemic happen, 2020 and into 2021, it definitely helps, people go through those different changes and kind of absorb what needs to be done and understand, okay, it's not comfortable, but this is kind of going to be, how things are going to be for a while or in the future. So that definitely helps with everyone as well. So
Yes. That's one of the missions, to really represent our communities throughout the state and finding those needs and provide that support that is needed. So I'm glad that there's again senators and representatives that that do take their time and show up at the meetings and are very engaging. And so we are moving forward with this organization. So again, it was an honor to be reelected chairman for the second year. So yeah, that's been great. So again, with as you mentioned, pandemic, we were really tested.
Yes, I think everyone
was tested.
So,
yes,
I'm sure.
To work and collaborate and make things move forward for the organization and all our organizations as well. So yes,
definitely embracing the adversity or the change, or looking at changes differently. Before, no one really wanted to do the Zoom meetings, and now it's kind of like common, like, hey, you want to meet by Zoom or you want to meet, by phone call now. So it's like, it's definitely helping the community adjust to, what our new norms are now, as opposed to, what we were doing before. So I think it's, and for some people it's very time efficient, going through Zoom meetings, more so now than what they had been doing before. But, I think overall it's, people are adjusting, it's getting better, and hopefully we'll be able to get through this a little bit easier now, and by the end of this year and into next year now. Let's hope everything kind of gets better, health wise for everybody too. So that's definitely a huge issue that everyone needs to think about too. It's can't go back to the way it was. Was it really that great too? So it's always something that we need to look at, observe everything overall, and kind of, okay, this is going to be for the better eventually.
Yes.
So
Well, evolving again. We're looking around, and it's time to evolve and change, and that's part of the growth of a citizen to a city to a country in the world, actually. So definitely, something like this had to happen, and I mean that happened 100 years ago with the other pandemic, and so yes, it's a way to learn and find out things again, and not get caught up in just everyday stuff. So now it's like you gotta strategize and think about, okay, well, I don't have to do.
Sure. Well, good. Okay, so is there one piece of advice then? Anything else you'd want to share with our listeners, our viewers, about how to brace in adversity or get through something?
I gone through. I had a message from a friend that say hello, how you doing and so forth, and she said, well, I'm glad you're okay. August, it's a hard year. I mean, a hard month for you, and I'm glad you're doing fine. And I say, oh yeah, a lot of things have changed over time. So I'll share with you. August way is so difficult. So August 17, my mom passed away in 2009, and then my son passed away in August 10. He was 16. 15 years old, I'm sorry, but so it's been 5 years or 6 years, and it's hard. And I also had an accident where my SUV rolled over, and at the end of the month in August. So August has been very difficult.
August?
Yes, just a few weeks ago.
Wow.
And so it's been a hard every time that time comes in of the new month, July, and then August hits. I'm like, oh, so it's been a one of the hardest things, I mean, losing your parents, like losing my son, and losing one almost passing myself. You really learn about to appreciate life and the moments with family and the people that surround you, good friendships, and you focus on, okay, what can I do to make life better for my children, my two girls, and also my community. And again, I used to think about, well, if I do this big project, maybe that will be something that will contribute. But I think over time now I learned that by just providing small steps or more small contributions really do help, and doesn't need to be a huge project that many people look at. It could be actually things that people may not even know that I did, and I think those are more fulfilling for me, but they already made an impact for families and in a different country. Again, this year has been great. I closer with the city, and I'm very grateful the opportunity that the mayor and all the staff gave me at the city, and learned a lot, and I gave my best to them to that lasted over 12 years and so I think we have a great relationship with them, and also now I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with Indiana Tech. And actually, it was I started in August, my first weekend in August, so I think it was great.
A positive thing happened.
A very
in August.
positive thing. Good. And my colleagues at Indiana Tech have been great, and very patient with me because I'm learning so much. And then my children, we got together. We were able to talk about my son Palermo, and see him in a different light, and sorry.
It's okay.
Sharing the great memories we had together, and learning, like, well, he was here for 15 years, and I mean, I'm a photographer. I have so many photos of him and our kids, and every time I get, a every day I get a photo from the photos the albums that I have, and it's great, you know. And that really keeps me grounded. All the things that I've done, and the relationships that I have with people are, you know, very meaningful. So I'm here to do well and do a good job, and I also have to understand there's other places or people that might not have the same view or as me, or the same goal. So I'll step away and then move to a different place where there's. So I understand that there's places for you, but not all the places. And I think that's what people sometimes don't feel comfortable, because like, well, they, you know, I don't agree with them, but I'm not gonna be able to, you know, work together. So I just say, well, this is not what I'm looking for, so I'll move away and then continue to work and at my pace and enjoy what is this time that we're together.
Well, good. Yeah, definitely very healthy outlook on that, where you know, different things may not you know, there could be differences, you know, if it's that much of you know, things to look at, then stepping away might be the healthiest for everyone all around. So but that's good. So that's very good. I'm sorry to hear about your son passing, and of course your mom as well. It's always hard when anyone close to you passes away.
Yes, thank you, appreciate that.
But glad you survived the accident and are doing okay. No other issues or anything. So
Yes.
Good. So definitely want to keep you around and help improving our city and our community, and you know, hope that we can help you as well in different things and different aspects.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you again for coming out today. I appreciate it so much. Really looking to help you know, get more stories out there on embracing adversity and helping people get through their own adversity. So we hope someone will be able to be inspired by you. I know I am. So I appreciate you coming out today.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you.
you.
Thank you again, folks, for joining us on our Embracing Adversity podcast. Join us again in 2 weeks, where we have more stories of adversity, where we hope to inspire you to get through your difficult times, or help someone you love get through some of their own difficult times. If you have any questions about Paul's Place, what we do, how you can help Paul's Place, you can always go to our website at www.paulsplace.org. Thank you, and we will see you soon.
Is your current financial advisor really listening to you, or just waiting for their turn to talk? Hi, I'm Gwen Rupert, your Fort Wayne Edward Jones financial advisor, and I am here ready to listen. I want to know what's important to you. I want to learn about your goals so that together we can put you on the financial path that's just right for you. Call me at 260-625-3524 or visit edwardjones.com to get started today.